Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'd like to discuss about one of the important topics that affects us all, stress. Stress could relate it to work-related stress, or it could be relational problems, financial issues, and etc. that we all experience in every aspect of our life. So, overcoming stress is so important for us. In this video, I'd like to discuss what stress is, and how it triggered, and finally some of the practical strategies that help us to overcome stress, and furthermore some of the evidence-based techniques that can help us for better control. And of course, all of the things that I'm telling you in this video are science-based. So stick around, because by the end of this video you will have a comprehensive guide to handle your life and stress effectively. Let's get started. I have created this mind map in order to help you to organize information in your mind based on this structure, and furthermore help you to understand it much better. So let's start with what stress really is based on Dr. Andrew Huberman's explanation. Stress is actually body response when there is an imbalance between internal states and external demands. Again, stress is body response that arises from an imbalance between internal states and external demands. We have eustress and distress. Eustress is positive stress and distress is negative stress. Let me provide you an example. Consider that you are working in a company, and in a particular day you are energized and you have a lot of confidence. So when your boss or your manager requests you to do something, so you will do it with positive energy and you perform it well. So the internal states, it means that you have a lot of energy and your confidence is aligned with the external demands, something that asks you from your manager or your boss. You will do it and you perform it well. So there is actually alignment. And consider another is distress or negative stress, is when your boss requests you to, for example, deal with a very difficult customer, or I don't know, do something in a very tight deadline. You will be under a lot of stress because your internal states, you're overwhelmed, you're strained, is not aligned with external demands. So this is actually makes you and put you in a very difficult situation, and you will be under a lot of stress. So this is positive and negative stress. And there is a very misunderstanding among people that they think that stress is something bad. Stress is not inherently bad. When it becomes chronic stress, it means constant stress and continued in your life for a long time, that leads you to many mental and physical problems, but inherently it's not bad at all. Let me talk about types, and it will provide you more clarification to understand which type of stress is negative and which type of stress is positive. We have three types of stress. Again, this is from Dr. Andrew Huberman, and I like to talk about them. It's about short-term, medium-term, and long-term stress. Short-term stress is something that we call it positive because it boosts your performance and it sharpens your mind, sharpens your body to focus on something, and it limits your focus on a particular matter that you have stress because of it. So it boosts your performance and prepares you for that task. So it's not bad, it's absolutely fine, and you will have more energy and you have more focus to do that particular task. So this is not bad at all, it's absolutely fine. Medium term is about stress that can last for several weeks and several months. It's somehow about sustained challenges. For example, about meet some of the deadlines in your work, because when you're working especially, it's about for a long time. So when you meet several deadlines for a long time, it somehow could be medium term. It means that your cortisol level enhanced and it's not bad as much as it could be manageable. Medium stress is manageable, but it could become chronic stress. We have to control it and we have to deal with it, and I will provide you strategies. But again, medium term is not that much bad. It's fine as much as it's controllable and manageable. And the last one is long-term or chronic. It's when the stress becomes a constant in your life. It means that it continued for a long time and put you under a lot of stress. It means that persistent stress. And your cortisol level elevated again. And unfortunately, it leads you to so many health risks like cardiovascular disease, mental disorders, or even weaken your immune system. And all of this can happen for chronic stress. So all of this happen under chronic stress type. So we have to consider this type of stress that is very harmful for us, that can lead us for many physical and mental problems. So short term is not bad, it's fine, and it helps you to boost your performance. Medium term, as much as it's controllable and manageable, it's okay, and we can deal with it. And long term is something that leads you to many problems. Okay, a very crucial step in order to manage stress is identifying the triggers of stress. We have to find out what triggers stress. What are the particular factors? I have provided you some of the categories that can help you to find out the triggers. And it could be personal for any person, or some of them could be shared as well. It's really important to understand and to figure it out which one is for you. It could be about work-related stress, like meeting a particular deadline. In working, we have very deadlines because manager put you in this situation because they want to accomplish those tasks as soon as possible, and it's somehow a brain technique that can boost the progress. Or long hour working, or lack of control. You know, when you work a lot and when you don't have some free hours for yourself, for doing something that you like, so you will be under a lot of pressures and stress. And I will suggest you, please limit your work hour and have some of the time for yourself. About some of the financial issues, like, I don't know, debt, mounting debts, some of the budget problems, or you wanna buy something that is really crucial for you but you don't have sufficient money, and etc. About relationships, it's about communication gaps, it's about the conflict, it's about the toxic dynamics, and any kind of conflict that you have in your communication. And even it could be about lack of communication. When you don't have any friend, when you don't have any relationship, it could be a stress for you. And even about the health problems, chronic illnesses. Some of the illness could provide us, unfortunately, depression, anxiety, and etc. So about the illness is so important. Or it could be about poor fitness or obesity lead to exercise and anxiety. And some of the diet issues, again, all of this can lead us for stress. And finally, we have environment. Environment plays a very crucial role in your life, and we have to consider it. It could be a lot of noise, overcrowding, work conditions, and etc. So all of these categories that I just discussed about them are so important, and please identify that which category is for you, which one is for you. Of course, this is only some of the examples that you can see, but you have to find out that what are your triggers. Now we come up with a really important question: why we have to manage stress? You see that we see 4 different categories and the problems and issues that will arise after chronic stress. We have physical problems. There is an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, like the illnesses that are related to heart, diabetes, obesity, or weaken your immune system, and unfortunately disturb the digestion. So all of this can happen under chronic stress. It not only affects the physical conditions, but also leads to mental problems either, like anxiety, depression, and sleep disturbances. And unfortunately lead to some of the behavioral issues. Unhealthy coping mechanisms like overeating, like alcohol consumption, like social withdrawal. All of this can happen under this stress. Or even about substance misusing that unfortunately affects so many adolescents and young people. And finally, it can disturb the cognitive function like decision making, like memory, like focus, and it can affect us all of these categories on our body. So managing stress is so crucial and important and plays an important role in our life, because if we don't manage it, it leads us to so many problems. Now, finally, we reach out to the most practical category today, which is stress management strategies. I like to talk about real-time stress relief and long-term stress relief. So it's really important that we have to consider real-time relief, because we know that so many strategies could be used to reduce cortisol level and stress, like yoga, like meditation, etc. But we have to consider a practical strategies that can be used under real-time stress, and we want to relieve our stress in that moment. So real-time relief is so crucial for us. And again, this is from Dr. Andrew Huberman, and I like to talk about it. Physiological sigh, it involves 2 double inhale followed by a long exhale. Again, double inhale followed by a long exhale. And when you are doing this with long exhale, it means that the exhale is much more than inhale. It activates parasympathetic nervous system. That is for calming. In contrast with sympathetic nervous system, that is for alertness. So we have to consider this part, and please don't confuse about sympathetic terms, because they don't mean those meaning that you have in your mind. Here and in neuroscience, it doesn't mean that. So please don't consider the real meaning in English. So this technique could be useful for you in order to calm you and activate parasympathetic nervous system, and furthermore reduce your cortisol level. But there is a research paper that it somehow contrasts with this explanation, and it mentioned that this is not about quick inhale or long exhale. It's about breathing slowly. When you want to reduce heartbeats, when you want to reduce cortisol level, when you want to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, you need to breathe slowly. And if you need more cortisol level, for example, you want to do it for exercise, I don't know, anything, but please consider that it could be dangerous for you. But if you want to increase cortisol level and that hormones that are related to this cortisol level, you can do it by breathing quickly rather than breathing slowly. So in order to activate the sympathetic nervous system for alertness. So this is my point. This is my suggestion for you. You can test both and consider and pay attention to your body response. Okay? For example, if double inhale and long exhale could work for you, it's absolutely fine and stick with it. And please do it for 10 to 15 times, not less or more. This is the sufficient times based on doctor's explanation. If didn't work, just breathe slowly, or you could get same result from both techniques that I discussed. Slowly breathing or double quick inhale and long exhale. So just consider your body's response and choose or opt for any particular technique that I just discussed. Another one is about grounding techniques. Grounding techniques, I already talked about this technique in disrupting rumination in another video. And grounding technique is again focuses on the external things rather than internal. So another useful technique is identifying stressors. It means that you have to identify what things can trigger your stress. I already discussed about it here. You see, triggers of stress. I told you here, but this is really great technique that we can use to journal our stressing. Write them down on the paper or any online note editor, so after a while you can find out the patterns. So you have same patterns that can trigger your stress. So you identify patterns and you will find out the strategies that could be useful for those specific patterns or those specific stress triggers. And this is a really crucial part. Lifestyle plays a significant role in your life. You have to consider nutrition, physical activity, and sleep hygiene. About the nutrition, as much as I studied in research papers, I haven't covered all of them, but they mentioned this point that nutrition doesn't directly affect your stress. It actually has indirect effects on your healthy life, and it could lead you to reduce stress, but not directly. Please consider this part, that lifestyle can improve so many aspects of your life, and they might lead you to lower stress. Okay, so please consider all of them. All of the things that I'm telling you are so practical, and as much as I could, I try to study the research papers that are aligned with stress reduction. So consider all of them, even if you don't see any effect on stress directly, but they can improve so many other things that finally lead you to stress reduction. So consider nutrition. Please have a balanced diet as much as you can. It means that you can consult with a professional to provide you the best tips and advices and what you have to eat and what you shouldn't. And you can search on the internet carbohydrates or vegetables or fruits and etc. I will talk about them later, but not in this video. And about the supplements, I will talk about them later. Omega-3, magnesium, and antioxidants. About some of the physical activity, try to engage some of the physical activity, especially for consistent times and for a long term. This could be great for chronic stress, and it involves these activities within your plan daily, like yoga, like walking, like aerobic workouts, like cycling. All of them can be great for you, and this is my suggestion. Please don't take it so hard for yourself. Do it slowly. Compound effect. It means that you have to do it consistently rather than just put yourself in a very hard plan of exercising or doing like this. At first, start by manageable steps. I already discussed about goals, about setting goals. Please don't take hard to yourself. Don't take hard to yourself, and make it easier for yourself in order to start it. But there is a really important point, is consistency. Please involve these activities in your plan. So physical activity is so important, nutrition, and sleep hygiene. It means that try to have a consistent times. Go to the bed and wake up consistently. It means that set a specific and particular time for going to the bed and wake up. So in a limitation, but consider for yourself some of the options. And finally, before going to sleep, reduce screen time. And we have so many strategies for sleep hygiene, like reducing the light of the room that you want to sleep, or I don't know, any particular room that you can specify for just sleeping rather than working. For example, if this room is for sleeping, so you have to reduce the light, and you feel like, oh, this is a room, and your mind and your brain can recognize that, and it releases hormone to that you feel sleepy. Another techniques that could be useful for you is cognitive techniques. It's really important, and particularly for me, CBT is so crucial. MBSR stands for mindfulness-based stress reduction. That is a combination of mindful breathing and yoga. And there are so many videos on the YouTube and even online courses that you can take part and learn how to do them. But consider both of them. And if you don't have time or you prefer something more simple, you can just do physical activity in any way that you enjoy: yoga, walking, aerobic workout, cycling, any of this that is preferable for you. But in this video, I'd like to talk about some of the techniques. Maybe a person prefers MBSR rather than physical activity. So yoga and mindful breathing, taking control of your breathing and body scanning, etc., could be useful for you. And finally, we have in this category cognitive behavioral therapy. It's really crucial for me, and it's one of the techniques that I have used for several years. It's about reconstructing thoughts. It means that reframe negative thoughts. For example, I felt this, I don't deserve to have a good job. Just saying to yourself, instead of this, I will do this better next time. I will learn from this. I learned another experience and I will improve myself. So this is about reframing. And I know that some of the people maybe uh, don't agree with this, but this is a science-based technique that proved that CBT is really useful for me. And when I'm thinking, and I have so many personal stories about this, and I remember that I was working when I was so young, and or I can tell you adolescence. Boss pushes me under a lot of pressures, and anytime that I did something wrong, he just mentioned that you don't deserve this job and you don't have physical, for instance, strength and etc. And instead of this, even I heard them and I was so sad about it, but I reframed those thoughts and I just told myself that you can do it better. Okay, you can do it better, and I learned from this. I know that I use this technique even I didn't read and I didn't study in research paper, but I felt that, oh my goodness, yeah, I learned something. I'm so sad about my boss explanation, but no, I know that I will do it better. So CBT is really important. Please don't underestimate it. And finally, we have emotional practices. It's about great gratitude and it's about social support. Again, gratitude is another part that so many people are struggling to saying that, but please, please, gratitude. Write down 3 things that you're thankful every day. And it's really important for, I don't know, healthy body, healthy mind. If you are watching this video, it means that you can see. So you can be grateful for this. If you have internet, I don't know, anything that you can tell yourself that I'm grateful for them. I am grateful for my friends. I am grateful for my family. I am grateful for my friends. I am grateful for my family. You can shift your focus from negativity to positivity. And finally, seek for social support. It means that try to create a supportive environments and supportive friends, to be in touch with them and even your family, and try to find the people that can really encourage you with positive thoughts rather than negative thoughts, and try to get away from people that all the time make you feel less confident and etc. So don't underestimate this. We are humans and we love social connection. So please seek for social support for with good friends, with good individuals, and furthermore, if you need therapy, you can seek for a professional healthcare. There are some of the supplements, but please, before taking any of these, consult with healthcare professional to guide you how much of these supplements could be useful for you. Magnesium, as you see, magnesium about the cortisol regulation, it can improve your sleep. Omega-3, it could be inflammation reduction and brain function enhancement. Vitamin B, it can increase your energy levels and stabilize your mood. And finally, ashwagandha, it can promote your focus and cortisol reduction. Ashwagandha is one of the most costly supplements, and I haven't used it to be honest, but I have used 3 supplements that I'm showing you right now, and these are really useful for you. Enrich your foods, enrich your nutrition with supplements as well, but by consulting a healthcare professional to actually provide you a good prescription to how much you have to use this. Another useful technique that you can use for managing stress is building resilience. Yeah, it could be weird for you, but it's absolutely fine, and don't worry about it. Pursue the meaning. It doesn't mean all the time that we have to control this. It doesn't mean about control. It's about managing stress. And sometimes we have to increase this stress in order to build resilience, something that you see here. How? By pursuing something that is meaningful and valuable and enjoyable for us. Follow and pursue purposeful activities. As I told you, for example, several years ago when I just started content production, I put myself under a lot of stress because it was my first time that I wanted to see on the camera and talk in front of so many people. So it was so stressful, absolutely, and I was overwhelmed. But to be honest, but my resilience was both. And anytime that I was doing that, I was increasing my capacity, and after a while, it would be normal for me. So now I'm talking in front of a camera much more easier than before. So, uh, it's so important for you to navigate through your stress effectively. So, it doesn't mean that we don't have stress. It means that we have to navigate, we have to handle it, we have to manage it. Okay, this is so important. And building resilience is one of the TED Talk video that I extracted information from it. I'm telling you, and in that video, they talk much more that I'm telling you right now, and about the research papers, and all of them prove that building resilience is so important. And please design your environments. It means that try to create positive environments. For example, try to organize around yourself to not be overwhelmed, and etc. All of them could be great. That's it, guys. So let's talk about practical takeaways as a just one last look to what I explored today. I talked to you about some of the strategies for short-term and long-term. Short-term breathing techniques like physiological sigh or breathing slowly, about grounding, paying attention to what are the things that you're surrounded with, and about long-term exercise, mindfulness, nutrition, emotional support, and professional therapy, and finding the things that are meaningful for you for building resilience. So that's it. I like to review stress. Stress is when there is an imbalance between internal states and external demands that arises a body response. Body's response is a natural defense mechanism that tries to protect us. I told you that in contrast with so many people that think that stress is bad, but stress is not bad inherently, and for short term is absolutely fine, and it can boost your performance and prepares you for action. But for long term, it could be lead you to so many physical and mental problems, and it's not good at all. So we have to protect ourselves from long term stress, and medium term is okay and it's manageable as much as we control it and we don't allow it to become chronic stress. I talked about various triggers about work related, financial, relationship, health, and environment. You have to find out which of this for you. About why we have to manage stress. If we don't manage stress and it becomes chronic stress, it leads us for physical, mental, behavior, and cognitive problems. As you see, there are so many problems and unfortunately can disturb our life completely and absolutely. So we have to consider this part. And finally, about the stress management, about real-time relief and long-term relief. Real-time, it's about physiological sigh, 2 quick inhales followed by a long exhale in order to activate parasympathetic nervous system, that is for calming body, and grounding technique. It means to pay attention about the things that we are surrounded with and identify stressors. We have to start writing down the causes, the root causes of the stress, what are our responses and how we feel, in order to track patterns that finally lead us for finding practical solutions. And about lifestyle adjustment, changing nutrition involves physical activity in our daily plan and sleep hygiene. I told you that please don't take it hard for physical activity, just try to do them as much as you can and consistently. About cognitive techniques, MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, a combination of mindful breathing and yoga, and CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, means about reconstructing negative thoughts and turn them into a positive and constructive thoughts. Like, I felt do this, I can say I learned from this and I will do it better next time. And emotional practice like gratitude and social support, building a strong relationships and positive and supportive friends for yourself. And gratitude, it means to write it down the things that you are grateful, and all of these techniques are science-based, and some of the supplements, and I encourage you to consult with healthcare professional to prescribe how much of this you should use in order to enhance the quality of life. And about building resilience, this is from a TED Talk about pursuing something that is meaningful and aligned with your values, and try to design the supportive environment for yourself and friends and family. Practical takeaways, as I already mentioned: short-term strategies and long-term strategies. Short-term physiological side, grounding; long-term exercise, nutrition, mindfulness, emotional support, and professional therapy. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will have a comprehensive guideline to manage your stress, and I know that after a while you will have much better life with stress management, and I'm sure that you will do it. I love you guys. Take care. Bye bye until the next videos.